Visa holders will have to go home or face deportation if they're switched to online studies. Additionally, new student visas won't be issued.
Once upon a time, there lived a young, beautiful, kind girl named Cinderella. And she lived with her evil stepmother and two equally awful stepsisters. And they all treated her like their servant, like she wasn't part of their family at all. And some of her only friends were a couple mice, some birds, but other than that, she was really all alone. But one day, the palace announces that the prince is going to host this massive ball and everyone in the kingdom was invited. And so Cinderella asks her stepmother if she can go, but her stepmother, being the evil woman that she is, says no. And so on the evening of the ball, Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters leave without her. They leave her at home.
A press release from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says the U.S. Department of State will not issue visas to students enrolled in schools and/or programs that are fully online for the fall semester, nor will U.S. Customs and Border Protection permit these students to enter the United States.
But all of a sudden, this woman appears wearing a blue cape and carrying a magical wand and tells Cinderella that she is her fairy godmother, there to cast a spell that'll allow Cinderella to go to the ball. And so she transforms a pumpkin into a carriage, transforms Cinderella's mice friends into a couple horses, and she also transforms Cinderella's outfit into this big, beautiful ball gown. But there is a catch. She tells Cinderella that this magical spell is only going to last until midnight. And so she sends Cinderella off to the ball. Cinderella goes. She has a wonderful time. She catches everyone's attention. She catches the prince's attention. And she dances with him all night. And he falls in love with her. But as the clock is winding down, Cinderella notices that it's almost midnight, and so she's nervous about her identity being revealed, and she doesn't want that, and so she runs off and leaves behind one glass slipper. So this is all the prince has. And he thinks about how the only way to find out who this person is that he had fallen in love with is to find the person who owns this glass slipper. And so he announces this nationwide search for this person. So days pass, and he goes from one house to another looking for the girl who owns this glass slipper. Meanwhile, Cinderella's stepmother has a few hunches about who might own this slipper, thinks it's Cinderella, and so locks her up in a tower.
CNN Justice correspondent Jessica Schneider joins me now from Washington with more on this announcement. Many students across the U.S.
And so the prince arrives at their house,
thrown into turmoil.
Tries to fit the glass slipper into the feet of Cinderella's two stepsisters, but obviously it doesn't work. In the meantime, Cinderella's mice friends are there to her rescue. They free her from the tower, and she runs down, sees the prince, and asks the prince if she could try fitting this glass slipper. And he says yes. She tries it on, it fits, and the prince realizes that Cinderella is, in fact, the woman he's been searching for. That Cinderella is the person that he is, in fact, in love with. And she is the one that he danced with all night during the ball. And so he gets down on one knee and proposes to her. Cinderella does say yes. And I believe she does forgive her stepmother and stepsisters. And is just glad that she's able to carry on with her life with her prince in the castle, far away from them. And so Cinderella gets married to the prince, moves in at the castle, and she gets her own happily ever after. The end.